Time 12:16 a.m. 6th month, the 7th day of 2016. The newspaper, June the 2nd, 2016, Thursday. Article already on nothing. Pocket Criminal Code Book, 2011. Anyhow, let's talk about INVEGA and the treatment from the hospital and Abilify, which they gave me a needle or whatnot and didn't feel dignified afterwards the first time before Abilify in 2012, 2013, approximately months after that I went through the same type of treatment afterwards. Year and a half on INVEGA. Side effects of gynomasculus or man boobs, which put breast-like on a man, and obesity, loss of hormones in the body called testosterone that needs to be there so a man can feel adequate lifestyle. Without it, you get stuff like diabetes, impotency, no sex drive, no drive in life, can't have children, semen doesn't produce in your body, digestive system, no thought of being hungry, and many more. You can go through my descriptions and my comments, and I've added links to places you can read as well, so you can read up your own information. And you can YouTube and Google it yourself on the side effects of INVEGA and side effects of low testosterone in a male's body, and being spaded, neutered, and in jail because you have no physical ability to do something, and you lose the such things as human rights of freedom of movement, which is running, cardiovascular fitness, what I had before. You can Google that. Running, walking, swimming, biking, soccer, rugby, football, anything to do with cardiovascular when your heart rate's up a certain amount and moving at a certain speed, like it says on the web page for the military in Superior. It's something like 2.4 kilometers in less than something like 10 or 11 minutes to be a superior, what they call it, or their time frame. That is an adequate health to be able to breathe and be able to go for a 2.5 kilometer thing, not to walk around, be out of breath like I am because the INVEGA, have great amounts of obesity and have no physical strength to stand up. That is not an adequate life. That is not adequate health, because I can't breathe, I can't swim anymore, and I can't run anymore, and I can't work out anymore, and I have no physical strength for such things as self-defense and needed to stand up and protect myself and walk around and run and enjoy life. No real happiness, no love, can't have sex. So if I was in prison, I don't have conjugal sex, which is allowed as well. And I don't have the right of fitness anymore, health as well, because it's being deteriorated from me. And I don't feel like eating half the time because that's what it does as well. Because you see obesity, you can't handle obesity, you start starving yourself. Plus, I'm on assistance disability or CPP and don't have enough to buy more than one day of food. If I'm lucky, with $100 or $200 worth of food money, because our government of Canada or British Columbia won't up the food allotment and look after housing as well, because they only allow $375. And it costs $550 to $700. $550 where I live right now. But if it went up $150, then I'd be screwed. I would have like $50 a month to survive on, which doesn't work. So they think everybody's in an institution, wants to put somebody in an institution like myself or somebody because they want to use psychological threatening to human beings and cowing, and use smells and sprays to keep them up at night, called sleep deprivation. Loud sounds, knocking on doors, irritating the shit out of people with different smells and sprays, let's say, because they're irritable. You wake up in fear and panic mode, and your heart races 1,000,000 miles an hour. So, it doesn't work. The treatment is intent to harm. Manslaughter because it doesn't have a life before. Use of a deadly weapon because it's a chemical weapon. Like I said, intent, you know the outcome and what the treatments are from the police, the government, and the doctors and nurses. So all guilty by association as well. So you're associated with a crime. In manslaughter. death preventing, prevention of a death, or prevention of a death like being manslaughter. Wowee, hey? This goes as high as the FDA, because the FDA is the one who approved these drugs and who everybody in Canada and North America buys the drugs from. So that's the top of the food chain. You got from the premiers and the health department and social development who look after public health, or the Minister of Health, and you have all the doctors and every institution and every professor and everybody who learns, and every nurse, because they know too, because they have to read the side effects to the patients and so forth. And on top of that, assisted suicide. Assisted suicide, you have to go to court and go through a lengthy court procedure. So, if you're giving chemical lobotomy, spading somebody, taking their hormones away, you have to go to court, such as an assessment order, to get approval by the doctor, not the doctor, by the psychiatrist, not either. You have to go to a judge and jury and prove your facts in court that this lab rat technique of Frankenstein theory, that it might or may not work because a little rat that's this big little hairy thing that's white or black can't speak up and tell you, oh, I can't handle being obese and all this other kind of stuff, and it's psychologically done this to me now that I can't do fuck all in life. You basically killed me. When do I die in my sleep? Because you're too fucking ignorant. Ah, what is it? You're a violent offender. Instead of using a weapon, a knife, a gun, guess what? You're a violent offender with no acts of remorse on what you have done. It's an act against genocide. I'm a minority, 7-1, 1 man, 7 women. It's what it says in Wicca as well. So you might be being discriminated because you're a gay person trying to harm a straight man. Who knows? Is this a gay drug too in the body that causes men not to have a sexual desire anymore? So it's under family violence, messing with genitals or sexual performance in a life. Doesn't matter. It says woman in there, but it means man or woman because it's discriminating. It doesn't. Equal rights. Equal rights is you follow the same laws. We both break the laws. We rob the bank, man or woman. We both get charged for theft, robbery, premeditated, and so forth. We attack somebody. We get charged with assault. Plain and simple. The long and short of it. INVEGA is no good for society. It kills people from their lives of before and doesn't make it any better. Ethics. I shall not harm another human being. You're not a doctor because you just violated all the ethics. Unfortunately, that's the way it says it. Of all the information I've found. Does it work? No, because over 16 years I've been assaulted by Mummy Dearest, supposedly, who knows what she expects out of a young man who she's assaulted her entire life with some type of stupid ignorance and lies. And thinks everybody's violent but herself and the way she thinks, poisoning food, slapping people in the face, and causing harm to them. And projection of threat from authorial figures and psychological torture, which is psychological abuse. Trying to play why people go postal by Bill, the kids scenario from start to the beginning. That's right, 16 years ago, take somebody's job away from them. Don't give them a job, give them a job, don't pay them. Give them another job, pay them part, don't pay them. Watch them try to blow up and get mad because you're not paying them properly. And every time a police officer comes near, has to ask some dumb question and pretend to be mad at them and not tell them anything good. Other than, oh, here's a card. Or, here's my email account. Send me a note. I'm a narcotics agent and I'm just a bike cop. Or, I'm the guy knocking on your door and I'm the guy that come in and check out the food bank or the food soup kitchen to see what's going on. Incident after incident after incident. Assault after assault after assault. I make a complaint, nothing gets done. Like I said, INVEGA doesn't work at all. All you want to do is harm somebody. Human trafficking / exercise control over somebody's life. They're an invalid now. You're their patient. You're the prize fighter who's making all the money and they're making nothing at all. You're a prize fighter. You're a police officer. You're a doctor. You're a nurse. You're an associate that's making money by harming other people by your treatments. So they go crazy and you get money from them. Oh yeah, and you're segregating them because they're impoverished, can't afford to live there, and you have to move somewhere where it's affordable now into some slum or a distant city that doesn't exist, which is set up like a psych ward where they contaminate, administer nauseous things in your food, you don't know what's in there, and that's right, another Holocaust act in a prison camp where you're stuck with a bunch of other poverty, and oh yeah, nothing in the world to do still but look out of a window / jail cell, just like they want it. So they're caregivers. You're not. They make huge amounts of money per year, so they benefit. You don't. And that's right, terrorism. They're landed immigrants in the country that got jobs. They have to be British or whatnot descent, and they're trying to take over the country because no Canadian that was here before was good enough. They are. They all have the jobs. We don't, of any type of dignity, I like to try to say, but a job's a job, that you make anywhere from 60 to 160,000 plus a year, which is an adequate lifestyle. Anything better than a living wage, what it takes to get in society, because a living wage with two people is just scraping by, as they say. It's nothing great. Somebody wants to be spontaneously and buy their kids gifts, their wives gifts, themselves gifts, go out for dinner, and have a nice car, nice furniture in the house, and things to do in your house, and be a part of a rec center and be physically fit as well, and have an adequate life, because that's what we learned from K to 12 in school, to be physically fit if we took in physical education, what the computers are, what literature is, what science is, and everything else. And that sport is okay to do. It's not a violent thing to be in any sports program because it's fun, it's fitness, and socializing with people who are in the same category. If you didn't make the team, it means you weren't good enough for it. Try an after-school special and pay to get into it as well, like hockey or whatnot. Yeah, it'd be nice if we had after-school specials, such as free swimming lessons and go to the workout section at a certain age after 16 and be able to work out for free, just like using a library as well. But, oh yeah, and take taekwondo and wrestling and boxing and kickboxing and judo as the one part of the Olympic sports program as well that's added into the physical education for free because it's part of self-defense and fitness that, hey, at least you're taking those classes. They're free. They're added into your physical education class when you take them. Period. Mandatory. That way we have them. Just like basic law in school, we take law classes. And Young Jarvis Canada theory in schools and take the practical afterwards. No difference in gun safety, food safe, WMIS, and first or second year cooking classes so we all know how to cook. And when we move out of the house, our parents make sure we have furniture in our houses. We either saved up for it or they helped save up for it and gave us what you call a grant or I'm helping my kids start out because that's my job. Just like when they go to university, you help them out with their university supposedly after the age of 19. Like a down payment on a house so they can start out and they're not moving around renting off to everybody and just being a slave for two people, the employer and the person they're renting off, and they don't know better so they seem to wreck some stuff once in a while in a house because they don't understand rent is not owning. Anyhow, INVEGA, why it doesn't work and why the treatment and a bunch more bullshit to go along with it. I guess this will be my long version of this with my little spiel on it all. Nobody likes to be obese, have no hormones, and be 43 or 26 when I started living on the street because of a forced situation. If it wasn't forced, I could have found a job right and easy and got paid. But when you're living on the street out of a backpack, you can't find a job at all. Period. That's why my mother's so ignorant, slapping me in the face and not letting me borrow her car to go to the job shop when she could have. But, oh yeah, She expects the world from her kids. She steals from me. My wife expects me to feed her and look after me and take half of whatever we put in there as well. When you get married or whatnot, as long as you're owning a place. But your mom expects to take everything from you, and you suck it up and earn it again. Once you've earned it and spent it, you can never make that money up again. That's why it's called savings. Once you spend it, it's gone. You can never reimburse that little bit unless it was proven stolen, and then victim services or an insurance company, if you have insurance, pays for it because it was stolen from a bank. Then you're covered. Just like your house, it's only covered for so much if something gets stolen in there or destroyed. Anyhow, this is the long version, I guess, of a bunch of BS as well as my INVEGA and the bullshit that I have to go through and psychological torture of stupid yo-yos who think they're educated and want to human control us so bad that life's just a prison and there's no prisoners right around here of 3 to 5 meals a day, free cable internet, a nice bed that doesn't have something on it that's not supposed to be there, and oh yeah, a shittier view than what I have. 10-foot by 6-foot window. Because it would be a complete concrete wall, but this is their different idea of a jail cell. And that's right. You can go for a 3-hour walk, come back, and everything be gone out of it because that's how long it takes to take everything out and put new stuff in. Or go down to Nanaimo Drive and come back and your house is down because a bulldozer took it down and all it is a dirt flat lot when you get back. Oh, you didn't live there before. Wouldn't that be funny, hey?